Like many of you, my childhood was made up of countless memories of playing video games with friends, family, and staying up way too late to try to beat a boss. This is also the time that shaped me as a gamer. Being an only child was so awesome for me in this regard. My parents turned our extra bedroom into a gaming room with 2 racks full of consoles and games and 2 TVs to play them on. I had hundreds, if not thousands, of games in pretty much every console, from like the N64, SNES, PS1, all the way to the more obscure consoles like the Sega CD. So today, I want to share with you guys 20 games from my childhood that still pop into my head and that fill me with the most nostalgia when I think about growing up gaming. I also want to hear about you guys' most played and favorite games growing up in the comments, so don't forget to post. The first game I want to talk about is Bobble and Rainbow Islands. I played the crap out of this duo. My mom loved Rainbow Islands so much she played it on her own time and she was much better than me. I preferred Bobble because the co-op was better, obviously, and Bub and Bob are so cute. My mom and I played like countless hours of that game from when I was a child up until I was a teenager. I should probably do some retro Bobble for my channel at some point, shouldn't I? The next game is Super Mario All-Stars. I considered this cartridge my favorite game pretty much up until I got the PlayStation. In particular, Super Mario Bros. 3 was my favorite game, so much so that when I turned 18 I went and got a Mario tattoo because that game shaped how I am as a gamer so much. I had to show the Mario world my appreciation for making me the gamer I am today. And obviously I had to do a playthrough on my channel. The Crash series is one that I played a lot of with my best friend and neighbor Chris when I was growing up. From the first Crash game to Crash Team Racing, I freaking loved them all. Crash Bandicoot was one of the first games that made it kind of okay for me to switch from the platformers that I loved so much and all of the pixels to 3D gaming. My favorite Crash game was probably Crash Bandicoot Warped. Coco is so freaking adorable. And now we have Machine Hunter. I fucking loved that game, but nobody knows what I'm talking about. Chris and I played the first hour of this game over and over again like 1,000 times. We never got too far because unfortunately the game gets really hard really fast, but going from a human to a spider to a tank and not knowing anything about the lore and just loving the game is something that I never get tired of. Monster Rancher 2, oh my god. Raising monsters and wanting to cry when they either died in combat or ran away is something that I will never forget. I lived for that shit back in the day. That and finding anything disc-shaped in my house so that I could stick it in and see what I got in the shrine. Disc-shaped, not dick-shaped. To this day, I still randomly have back and forth conversations on Facebook with Chris about Monster Rancher. Road Rash was the place where I learned the meaning of the word schmooze. I loved this game because it combined racing with kicking people off their bikes and being a badass, so I played a lot of this game. Mario Party 1 and 2 were games that I played a lot with the neighborhood boys. I would have like 8 of them over at a time, and since you can only play with 4 controllers and 4 players, we would switch off. The losers would have to give their spots up. There is no better way to kick your friend's ass than in a Mario Party minigame, that's for sure. Besides the Sonic series, this is my favorite game on the Sega Genesis. I really love the stretchy arm mechanics in the RISTAR world, it's so cute. The graphics back then were really awesome to me, and I love how difficult the game got. It was really fun. Tekken 3, Tekken Tag, Tekken was my favorite fighting game franchise growing up. From King to my all-time favorite Ling Xiaoyu, I was the best button masher in the city. Probably. If anything in my childhood solidified that I should be a vegan, it was Oddworld ABE'S Odyssey. I felt so sorry for Abe, but I loved playing him. Controlling guards, solving puzzles, saving my brethren, they were all big perks of the game, but the biggest one was those weird piranha dog monsters. They were badass. Oh, and like walking into mines and blowing myself up because I didn't see them. So, obviously I had a Game Boy, but my Game Gear was my favorite. Sure, I had to get a bulky battery pack and nobody really knew what I was carrying, but this was the best thing ever. It was in color. I mean, it had the best games. It had Sonic games, Mickey games, you name it. Out of all the games I played on this thing when I was growing up, Sonic Drift was probably my favorite, and most played. I pretty much played every single Sonic game on my Genesis when I was growing up, even the pinball ones, but my favorite of all time was Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic and Knuckles Combo. Putting any other game on here that wasn't a Sonic game made it so that you could play that game where you collected the orbs and then you got the Chaos Crystals. But anyway, I loved being 2-player in this game because Tails made everything fucking OP. Pretty much the same way I feel about playing Dixie Kong and Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3. Ah, Worms. Worms Armageddon has a special place in my heart. I played tons of this game with all of my friends. I would make teams where I name all of my worms after my friends or after characters in Monty Python. And I still imitate those stupid little British worm voices saying, "I'll get you," or "stupid." BFF and neighbor Chris and I would play Worms, then go outside in the summer and take water balloons, and then we would pretend they're grenades and we're worms, and it was a lot of fun. Goof Troop is another game that I played with my mom. I was always, of course, Max, and she was Goofy, and we would go around solving the puzzles, and she would get really pissed off when I kicked a block into her and totally ruined our puzzle. My mom was the queen of gamer rage. It doesn't matter if it was my dad or me at like 10- years old, she got really pissed if you fucked her up. The Great Circus Mystery, starring Mickey and Minnie, was another game I played with my mom. Really amazing game. I loved the clothes changing mechanic and how it would make you have different abilities. And I loved it when Mickey would go behind my curtain when I'm changing. That would always make me giggle. He's such a pervert. My favorite boss in that game is the one where you're on the back of like a dinosaur and you have to pull off his scales and throw them at enemies. So, here's my Game Boy. It does only have Final Fantasy in it right now, but I was a huge Pokemon fangirl back in the day, before it was popular to be so. I played the TCG competitively for badges with my dad at tournaments. I collected figures, I collected stuffed animals, and of course, I played Pokemon Red and Yellow as my favorite on the Game Boy. This was my Super Nintendo growing up. Somebody spray painted it black. My dad bought it from someone. I don't know, I guess it was used. And we put this little sticker here to remind me which one was the one that I had to press to turn on and off. We did the same with the controllers, and the SNES controller that I use on my YouTube videos and on my stream is the same one I used when I was growing up. It still works. But one of my favorite games to play on it with my friends and my mom, of course, was Donkey Kong Country 2. It never mattered who I played with, I always chose Dixie. Dixie's hair spin is kind of like Tails, and it's really OP. I didn't have to worry about all the jumping perfectly shit to span gaps. It was pretty easy, just spin my hair. I even wanted to buy one of those pink golf hats so I could wear it around and pretend I'm Dixie with my long blonde hair. Around the time I started playing Nights into Dreams was when I finally felt acclimated to 3D games. Not only was it a beautiful and kind of creepy game, it also makes me super nostalgic for the times when I had my Sega CD and Sega Saturn. And for the final two games, we have Gex and Spyro. We had hundreds of games for the PlayStation 1, but my dad was really into Spyro and Gex, so naturally I got into Spyro and Gex. I loved playing as a little dragon or a badass lizard. I'm pretty sure Gex quit his job and switched over to being the Geico Gecko, right? Seeing what the Spyro franchise has come to these days kinda makes me sad. It's so childish. Back in the day, it was a groundbreaking 3D franchise for the PlayStation 1. Alright guys, let me know down in the comments what games you played growing up. Do we share any of the same ones? Does anyone know what Machine Hunter is? And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you check out more of my new series, Numbered Lists in Gaming. I don't really know what I'm gonna call it. Well, this has been 20 games from my childhood. See you soon. Bye. Hey guys, if you're enjoying my free content and you want to keep my content flowing, please consider supporting my Patreon campaign. Pledge a couple dollars in support of my YouTube and live stream and get some cool exclusive content while you're helping me reach my goals. Link is down in the description. Thank you. Anything helps. Hey guys, I now have a daily upload schedule for my gaming channel. Mondays we have a little bit of random content, which means it could be anything from a stream highlight, PS4 strategy, to, let's say, a gaming vlog, Tara's List, a Why I Love episode. Tuesdays we have an episode of Let's Play with Tara from a recent game, and Wednesdays we have a retro Let's Play episode. Thursdays is Losing My Virginity Day. Fridays another Let's Play with Tara, and Saturdays another retro Let's Play with Tara. And finally on Sundays we have another random gaming content day. And guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/TaraBabcockGames, and my vlog channel if you like gratuitous fan service, sex ed, fan mail unboxings, or philosophy. And of course you can always follow and subscribe to my Twitch TV channel, which is twitchtv.com/TaraBabcock, where you can watch all of the behind the scenes of how I make my YouTube videos, as well as me streaming live content. As always, thanks for watching. Bye guys.